My fiancé shocked me by asking for an open relationship right before our wedding, so I canceled the entire marriage and walked away without looking back. I'm 29, and I've been with Sarah, my fiancé, for 4 years. I thought we had it all. Perfect relationship, perfect timing, and a wedding just weeks away. I'm a firm believer in the idea that when you know, and I knew, without a doubt, that Sarah was the one. We had our ups and downs, sure, but who doesn't? What mattered was that we always came through it together. Or so I thought. We had been living together for 2 years in our little apartment in the city, and the wedding planning was going smoothly. Invitations were sent out, the venue was booked, and everything seemed to be falling into place perfectly. We were on the brink of the most important day of our lives. Our friends, our families, they were all excited. I had no reason to believe anything was wrong. Then, 2 nights ago, everything changed. The night started like any other. We were on the couch, eating takeout, talking about how stressed we were with the wedding preparations. But then, out of nowhere, Sarah went quiet. She stopped scrolling through her phone and looked at me, really looked at me, in a way I hadn't seen in a long time. It was like she was building up to something, and I could feel the tension in the air. I tried to lighten the mood. "What's up? You've been quiet for the last 10 minutes. Did I take the last spring roll or something?" She didn't laugh. Instead, she set her phone down and shifted toward me. "There's something I need to tell you," she said, voice almost trembling. I immediately sensed something was off. "What's going on, Sarah? You're scaring me." She took a deep breath and then she dropped the bomb. "I've been thinking a lot, and I think I want an open relationship." My stomach dropped. I couldn't process the words at first. I must have misheard her. "What?" "I mean, I love you, but I think I need to explore other things before we get married. Experience new things, meet new people. I've been feeling a bit constrained." Her voice faltered as if she was unsure how to say it, but the words kept coming. I sat there, frozen. The room felt like it was closing in on me. This couldn't be real. We were days away from our wedding. We had built a life together. How could she be saying this now, of all times? "Sarah, this isn't funny. Are you serious?" I was trying to keep my voice steady, but my hands were shaking. She nodded, looking down at her lap. "I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like I need to see what else is out there before I commit to forever with just one person. It doesn't mean I don't love you, it's just, I don't know, something I need." The air felt thick, like I couldn't breathe. My mind raced. This wasn't the person I thought I was marrying. I looked at her, trying to find some sign of the woman I had fallen in love with, but all I saw was someone I didn't recognize anymore. "I can't do this," I whispered. "I can't marry you. Not now, not ever." I stood up, the weight of the decision already sinking in, but I wasn't ready for what came next. Her eyes widened as if she hadn't expected me to react like that. "Wait, what? You're not even going to talk about it? You're just going to throw everything away?" I couldn't believe the audacity. Throw everything away? "Sarah, you just told me, days before our wedding, that you want to see other people. How am I supposed to respond to that?" "Sure, babe, go ahead and sleep around while we plan our honeymoon?" Her face flushed. "It's not like that. You're twisting my words. I don't want to have regrets later in life. I'm trying to be honest with you." Honest? Honest would have been telling me this years ago, not after we've sent out invitations and picked out centerpieces. My voice rose, and I didn't care if the neighbors heard. This wasn't some minor misunderstanding. She was dismantling our entire relationship right in front of me. She stood up, crossing her arms defensively. "So what? You're just going to end it? After everything we've been through? What choice are you giving me, Sarah?" I shot back. "How can I marry someone who isn't sure if I'm enough? You want to explore? Fine. But you don't get to do that while keeping me on the back burner like some safety net." She started to cry then, but I didn't feel sorry for her. "Not this time." "I wasn't trying to hurt you," she said between sobs. "I thought we could figure this out together." "Figure what out? How to let you cheat on me with my blessing?" I laughed bitterly. "No, Sarah, that's not how this works." Her crying shifted to anger. "You're being so dramatic. Plenty of couples have open relationships. It doesn't mean I don't love you." I shook my head, disgusted. Love isn't asking your partner to watch you flirt with someone else and call it healthy. Love is commitment, Sarah, and you clearly don't understand that. For a moment, we both just stood there, staring at each other, the weight of everything we'd built together crashing down around us. She broke the silence first. If you walk out that door, you're giving up on us. I grabbed my keys and turned to face her one last time. No, Sarah, you gave up on us the moment you decided I wasn't enough for you. And with that, I walked out. But the fallout was only just beginning. I drove aimlessly for hours after I left, trying to process everything. My phone was blowing up with texts and calls from Sarah. At first, they were apologetic. Can we just talk? I didn't mean to hurt you. But as I ignored her, they turned defensive. I can't believe you're acting like this. You're overreacting. Overreacting? She wanted to change the rules of our relationship days before our wedding and thought I'd just roll with it. My anger simmered, but beneath it was heartbreak. How had I not seen this coming? Had I missed the signs? Or was she always planning to spring this on me at the last minute? The next day, I woke up to even more chaos. Sarah had told her family that I had called off the wedding without warning. Her mom called me, furious, demanding to know what was going on. I told her the truth, every word of it. The line went silent for a moment, and then she sighed, almost as if she wasn't surprised. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I'll take care of this. Apparently, Sarah's mom wasn't as supportive of her open relationship idea as Sarah had hoped. She tore into Sarah, telling her she was selfish and immature. But Sarah wasn't done. She turned to our friends, spinning some sob story about how I had abandoned her over a simple miscommunication. The backlash was immediate. I had mutual friends texting me things like, "How could you do this to Sarah? And don't you think you're overreacting?" I was livid. If they were so quick to take her side without hearing mine, they weren't real friends. I sent one text to our group chat. Ask Sarah what she told me 2 nights ago, then decide if you'd be okay with that in a marriage. One by one, the texts stopped coming. Sarah's lies unraveled quickly when people realized what had actually happened. A few even apologized to me. Others just went quiet, clearly too awkward to face me after jumping to conclusions. As for the wedding, I canceled everything. Venue, catering, photographer, all of it. I had to eat the deposits, but honestly, it was worth every penny. The idea of standing at that altar, knowing Sarah had doubts about committing to me, made me sick to my stomach. The last I heard, Sarah moved out of our apartment and back in with her parents. She's still telling anyone who'll listen that I overreacted and ruined everything. But I don't care. I'm done. It hurts, and I won't lie. There are moments when I miss the Sarah I thought I knew. But when someone shows you they don't value you, you believe them. I'd rather be alone than with someone who sees me as a placeholder while they explore. Now I'm focused on picking up the pieces and moving forward. It's not easy, but I know I made the right choice. I deserve someone who's all in, no doubts, no backup plans, and no open relationships. A few weeks passed, and I'd started to find some peace, but Sarah wasn't done with her games. I got a call from a mutual friend, let's call him Jake, telling me that Sarah had posted on social media about our breakup. She painted herself as the victim, saying I had cold feet and couldn't handle the pressures of commitment. She conveniently left out the part about wanting to explore other people right before our wedding. I wasn't about to engage in a public back and forth, but Jake convinced me to set the record straight. So, I made one post. I kept it short and to the point. For those asking why the wedding is off, Sarah asked for an open relationship a few days before we were supposed to get married. I ended things because I value trust and commitment in a relationship. That's all there is to it. The post went viral, at least within our social circle. The comments section was a mix of shock, support, and outrage at Sarah. Friends I hadn't spoken to in years reached out to check on me. A few mutual friends who had taken Sarah's side tried to apologize, but I wasn't interested in rebuilding bridges with people who'd so easily believed the worst about me. Meanwhile, Sarah's social media disappeared. Word got around that her parents had cut her off financially. Furious that she'd not only destroyed her engagement but also humiliated the family. A part of me felt bad. After all, I had once loved her. But I reminded myself that this was her doing, not mine. One day, as I was packing up the last of her things to return, I found an old photo album she'd put together for our first anniversary. It was filled with pictures of us smiling, laughing, planning our future. For a moment, I felt the weight of everything we'd lost. But then I turned the page and saw the card she'd written me back then. "Here's to forever. I can't wait to be your wife." Forever. What a joke. That night, I drove to her parents' house to drop off her belongings. Her mom answered the door, looking embarrassed. "I'm so sorry about everything," she said quietly. "You didn't deserve this." "I know," I replied. "Neither did she. She just doesn't realize it yet." As I drove away, I felt lighter, like I'd finally closed the chapter. It's been a few months since then, and I won't lie, it hasn't been easy. Weddings I was invited to remind me of what could have been. But I've started going to therapy, focusing on my career and reconnecting with friends. The experience taught me a hard lesson. Love without respect isn't love at all.